And it's funny, I just talked about this a couple of days ago with a team. I talked about the 4 ables. The 4 ables are, is your business predictable, sustainable, duplicable, and scalable? Those are the 4 ables. And if that is all driven by proprietary process, documented, it's not in anyone's heads, it is a pure intellectual property that supports all the things that I can only get from your business. What have you seen that has done to the enterprise value above and beyond? Let's just say we do some simple math where you get the first 2, you're at 5 to 6x. Where can it go from there if the IP component is built into?
Well, it might be another 2 to 3x on top of that, right? And there's a ton of factors that go into that. The word that comes to mind for me is that's the kicker, right?
Yeah,
that's the kicker. We've got the quantitative, we've got the qualitative, and then there's the accelerator or the kicker. And I love the 4 ables because that paints a vision of, you've got to have infrastructure in place. You've got to have clients connected to the team. You've got to have process, no skeletons in the closet, like you said. You can drive substantial increases in value when you have that procedures manual and you're able to pass the baton to the successor and say, here it is. Here's everything. Now, I'm always a little hesitant when we talk about multiples. It's very easy for us to understand, but it can be dangerous just throwing those numbers around.
Sure.
Because you might go get a high multiple because you're willing to chain yourself to the desk for the next 10 years and take a small base salary. And the purchaser is saying, well, we'll pay up for that because what are they actually buying? If you think about it, what are they paying up for? They are paying up for certainty of future cash flow and profitability. So if you want a higher multiple, they're paying up for certainty of future profitability, cash flow, growth, etc. So anything that you can do in terms of the structure of the business, process documentation, to increase the level of certainty, to decrease their risk, right, they will pay up for. The more risk that they take on in a transaction, the more uncertainty, they're going to come back to the seller and say, we're going to discount the value because that represents risk to us. Classic discounted cash flow model, right? What are the profits? What are what's the ability to grow those profits over time? And how sustainable is it? And the sustainability factor is the discount rate. The less certainty, the less sustainable, the more risk the purchaser is going to take. That's going to compress the multiple. It's going to compress the valuation. When you liberate them from that uncertainty and those risks because you've done the hard work, right? You've created the IP, all the documentation, all the team building, all the job descriptions, all the HR management, all the compliance. I mean, you name it. This is hard work. It can be tedious at times, but that's what the buyer is willing to pay up for. That's what they're willing to participate. If you're a team that wants to give up some equity, right? You want to monetize it now, but you want to stay engaged. That's what they will pay up for.